clear successfully. Gets it into the offensive end of the field. And still make some substitutions.
TCU getting their respective members on the field for offense, looking to make this a 4-3 game.
Carson Healy on ball, the short stick D-midi.
He guards number 47, Carlo Miggins.
And Talbot Troy is the other short stick D-midi for the Gamecocks. Both playing as far out as the restraining line as well, walking all the way up to these TCU offensive players and daring them to dodge on them.
Move down below the cage. TCU's going to attack from X. The fans in the corner giving it to him. And a big check and ground ball caused by Teddy Russell. That one's going to be scooped up. Charlie King is going to run away with it.
So it's King and the Gamecocks in transition now after a great check, forced the ground ball.
Over to Troy. Troy gets lit up. Stanton has the ball now. He's going to cut into the middle of the field, and a bounce shot and a good save by Schubert. Flag down. Gamecocks will get a man up.
So this is the first time we'll see the Gamecocks in the man up. We saw TCU already go man up due to Gamecock penalty, which ultimately they did not convert. They're 0 for 1. But we'll see what Coach Kirsch Downs has in his first man up opportunity tonight.
1:02 remaining in the first quarter. It looks like this, unless the Gamecocks score this penalty, will take them down to about the end of the first quarter, where TCU can regroup and figure out how they're going to attack the Gamecocks now. It's been a pretty good game so far. Looked like it was all Gamecocks the first half of that quarter. TCU has found their edge just a little bit, but Gamecocks have a chance to open that lead up again here.
Yeah, and you'll be seeing all defense from the Horned Frogs for the next 60 seconds as this quarter winds down. Just trying to prevent the Gamecocks from making a 2-goal lead 3.
Here's a shot, bounces in front, might have hit his own man. It is picked up by Donald Ryan, who has a goal tonight already. He's hungry for another. Egan moves it over. Now let's move behind. It's going to come out to Stan. Stan takes a shot. That goes wide of the net again.
That ground ball from Ryan, too, is huge because if TCU gets it, it's very hard with a dwindling clock to get the offense going in transition.
Good feed. Back to Stan. Stan lets it go again. That one was blocked by a defenseman, it looks like.
So 2 wide shots from Stanton. The Gamecocks have taken 3 shots already on their man up and retained possession with just 20 seconds left in the quarter.
That was blocked by Tucker Jackson, wearing number 25 for the Horned Frogs. He'll feel that one tomorrow. Gamecocks bouncing it around a little more. Nice little move there from Egan. Egan shoots and scores!
So with 7 seconds left, the Gamecocks make their lead 3. The score is 5-2.
Connor Egan with his second of the night. And the Gamecocks go up 3.
Egan and Stanton are certainly who the Gamecocks want shooting the ball for their 2 wings. Both very quick guys with powerful shots. If you can get them open in the lane, that's exactly what Coach Kirsch Downs wants for the Gamecocks, especially in the man up, taking most of that penalty to score. And now with 7 seconds left, Coach Kirsch Downs can comfortably go into the second quarter with a 3-goal lead, permitting nothing happens here in the next 7 seconds. Excuse me.
Big time face-off here. Lacrosse is a very quick game. A goal can happen in 7 seconds. It is not over until that buzzer sounds.
We've seen Will Frith take it himself in 7 seconds already. But as that ball gets away from him, TCU gets the ground ball in transition. And a good check from behind, gets on the ground.
And the quarter will end. It's 5-2 Gamecocks after both face-off specialists got a little lost there, but a aggressive ground ball. Do we expect to see more chippiness as the night goes on?
Yeah, I would think so. You know, Club Lacrosse is a level where the officials are more compelled to let a lot slide. You're not going to see an extremely strictly officiated game, and that can lead to both teams kind of seeing what they can get away with, getting a little more physical, and ultimately, especially as you get into the fourth quarter in a close game like this, both teams are going to be, you know, fighting tooth and nail to get a win, and ultimately they can get a little more physical, a little more chippy.
We have seen 1 penalty kill from each side tonight. None of them capitalized. I don't believe that one was on the man up. Gamecocks did get a late goal there at the end, so they lead 5-2 after the first quarter.
And that 3-goal lead's great to have going into the second quarter, but that by no means is the tale of the tape so far. TCU has showed when they can get the ball on the offensive end of the field, when they can control time of possession, they are liable to score at any time and do so in quick succession. They scored 2 goals in almost a minute, and if they can get the momentum in their favor, they can certainly close the lead like 3 goals at the drop of a hat. The Gamecocks, however, have shown they're a little more patient on offense. They are content to move the ball around. They've got a lot of off-ball movement, a lot of cutters, They share the wealth. I think the Gamecocks are a team that are comfortable with anyone on their offensive field with the ball in their stick. They're happy to get all 5 guys out there involved. Whereas TCU really likes to work it behind the back of the goal. They like to cut, they like to dodge, and try and take it to the goal themselves instead of looking for the open man like the Gamecocks are more prone to.
And ladies and gentlemen, we apologize if there were any technical difficulties. Audio was a little rough to get on in an open lacrosse field here in Columbia, South Carolina. A beautiful night, though. Beautiful night. Glad to have you guys here for some Friday Night Light men's club lacrosse action. This interconference matchup between the two squads, TCU representing the Lone Star Alliance. South Carolina obviously comes from the Southeastern Lacrosse Conference.
And both teams, as the Gamecocks turn the ball over, both teams are very strong in their conference. The South Carolina Gamecocks won their first conference game against Georgia last week, and hopefully can keep that momentum flowing, as conference play is very important to both these teams.
South Carolina lacrosse does know how to win. They were champions in 2019, where they beat California in the championship, and in 2022. So technically they were back-to-back champions, as there was no tournament in 2020 or 2021, as there's Hurley, a short-sized shot saved by Schubert.
Yeah, the Gamecocks got the ball back there on an errant pass and quickly tried to get into a scoring position, but ultimately gave it right back to the Horned Frogs.
A great trail check there from Carson Healy. Going to turn the ball over for the Gamecocks.
As both these teams are just
now Romano's
transitioning back and forth. And you will see a flag drawn on that.
We're going to see delay game. Going to the cage, it's Romano. A good save by Schubert. And another hit, he's going to look for the ref, but he's already got one flag, so Gamecocks will go up on another man advantage.
Yeah,
ref is going to look to throw another one, and he does. Very late flag here. 2 at midfield.
And that's a hard check to get away with in transition right in front of the referee. Some guys, actually, even in a more loosely officiated game, that's probably one that you're not going to see not drawing a penalty very often.
That was a good 10, 20 yards from us, and we heard that pretty loud and clear.
Yeah, that may have come across in the broadcast.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of a
you might
thump
have heard
there.
that through your TV at home, through your living room.
But, hey, this is a contact sport. Respect to the Gamecocks for playing through the contact and getting a good shot on goal, as now they'll go in the man up.
Looks like they're going to get one of the Gamecocks, maybe for talking back to the ref or maybe saying some not-so-nice words. Looks like the ref was not honoring that very well. So it's going to be a 5-on-5, it appears. Refs, the officiating table is across the field from us, so we can't really see or hear exactly what they're calling, but yeah, it does appear we're going to have a 5-on-5.
Which is some good lacrosse. In 5-on-5, you can space the field very well. It's really easy to get an open shot, especially in the lane if you're a step-down kind of player. So we'll see how these two teams can step up to the 5-on-5 opportunity as the Carolina Gamecocks are on defense first.
So because the Gamecocks got the most recent penalty on that little altercation there, TCU is going to get the ball, and they're going to set up shop as they turn it over. And now Russell across midfield has some room to work with. Gives it to Stan. Stan steps into a shot and misses wide.
Just wide, but the Gamecocks were closest to it. Jake McQuaid will help them retain possession.
Hurley has the ball. He's going to give it to a cutting Teddy Russell, who scores!
Teddy Russell, the long stick, gets the first defensive goal for the Gamecocks, and that's something you just love to see.
A pole goal for Teddy Russell, and it's 6-2 Gamecocks.
And in a 5-on-5 situation like that, now both penalties will release, but you got to get everyone involved. There's a limited number of players on the field. If you got a cutting long stick, get it to him, let him cook. He got it right in front of the goal, had a great opportunity, and it was Russell capitalizing on it.
Russell gets his 3rd career goal, and it comes in his senior year.
And in highlight reel fashion in the 5-on-5 situation.
Out of Potomac, Maryland, the hotbed of lacrosse up there in the Northeast. Lining up at the face-off dot for another one. 13:24 to go in the second quarter. Ref is going to step in and ask a few questions.
He might be checking the stick of Joseph Kavanaugh.
I think he's asking him how his day's going, how the flight was.
That one gets
Ground
away.
ball from TCU. And it's JT Macedo running away from pressure. Still under fire. Now he gets it to his man, Joseph Kavanaugh, the Fogo.
We've talked a lot about Frith and Kavanaugh, the two faceoff guys for the Gamecocks, but those other two middies are just as important in the faceoff. Getting those ground balls can mean a lot for your team in getting possession.
Cannot remember how many times my former coaches would stress ground balls. It's one of the most important, if not the most important part of the lacrosse game.
It's an undervalued statistic, but it's highly important.
Exactly. Frith almost making a one-hand grab.
Flag comes in late, though.
Looks like it's going to be another flag. Ball was on the ground. No one had possession there.
So the flag
sounds like it's on the Gamecocks. On Charlie King, it sounds like.
Little action over there on the far sideline in front of the Carolina bench. It's hard to hear what was said or what checks were thrown, but in the end, the Horned Frogs go man up once again.
TCU player takes a knee in the box. I don't see a Gamecock taking a knee in the box.
There's only 5
Dakota
Gamecocks on the field on
Downs.
defense, though.
Dakota kind of laid into the bench there, saying stop talking to the ref. So that's just the adrenaline, the emotion behind the game. These guys absolutely are so very passionate about the game. They love it. They're going to play it until their feet fall off. And, you know, some things tend to slip out. So it looks like the refs are starting to hone in on the penalties a little bit and maybe calm them down a bit.
Most definitely. Both these squads won it at the end of the day. And if that's letting your temper flare a little bit and saying something regrettable to the ref, that's kind of the price of admission for the game you're playing. But at the same time, a penalty like that is something that your head coach is probably going to let you know that he wasn't happy about.
He'll probably let you know in practice next week, too. You might be doing an extra sprint or two.
Might be a little running for that one next time they get together to practice, but
get some cardio in. It's okay. Refs sorting. I think I heard all even for 30 seconds. There's the Gamecock coming to the box. It looks like John Gerald is going to serve for the Gamecocks.
So we'll see as they talk this one over. There's 12:41 left in the second quarter.
Looks like we're going to have another 5-on-5 segment here for about 30 seconds. Refs talking to the coaches, maybe letting them know.
So we'll see as they just talk this one over. And you can't say this game hasn't been called very fairly.
No,
there's no imbalance between which team has been getting the most penalties. It's definitely scrappy, like you said. Both these teams are going to want it. Both these teams are going to see what they can get away with. But ultimately, the officials have called a very straight game thus far. We can give them credit for that.
They have done an amazing job, and we thank them for coming out here on a Friday night. It's under Carolina night sky, 8 p.m. face-off.
And these Carolina Gamecocks will be back in action this Sunday against the Florida State Seminoles here in Columbia.
They're traveling in tomorrow, and they will take on this TCU team here at River Bluff High, I believe. So not this field, but they will play again tomorrow at 8 p.m.